Hello there, I am Gifty Auntie and welcome to TSP with Gifty Auntie. Hello there and welcome to Match on TSP with me, Gifty Auntie. How have you enjoyed the year so far? How has it been? Now, I want you to talk about only the positives, including the fact that you are alive. Your match is going to be better the third month, isn't it? We women and people of faith, we say is the Trinity. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. So it's going to be super exciting. Better things ahead of us. We believe and we hold on to it. Somebody say amen. Amen. Today I have a program for you. You know, one of the women I've known for years. I admire, I respect. I love, and I just wonder how she keeps evolving every year. She never gives up. Ghana Music Awards. Gone through many phases. Every year, she go chop bashing. But yet, nothing stops her. Well, let me say thank you to Amazing Grace Enterprise, the art studio opposite the fire service, for my fabric. You know, this fabric, and then the outfit, the two-piece, skirt, and then this beautiful top by Zaki on Clothes. Thank you so much. She has, the Ramadan fasting year has started, so the Idil is coming up. She has a whole collection for you. Check it out. Moderate dressing, the right attire for prayers, for what have you. She's got the whole line for you, the whole bouquet. So check it out. Thank you to S Nash for my hair. And of course, makeup by the Glow Bar makeup products, Sigma Health and Beauty. And then, of course, my beads and earrings by the one and only Twinny Craft. Thank you so much to them. With that out of the way, today we get to celebrate and capture the untold story with an industrious, hardworking, determined, focused woman. She's married. She has kids. She has mentored many, trained many, training herself, and she's unstoppable. She's dynamic and always keeps renewing herself to get the better version of herself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as we welcome the one and only Teresa Ayoade of Tata House. Finally, good to have you on the show. Please take your seat. And I'll be back to join you for us to have a conversation. So you call somebody that today is going to be exciting. We are starting the month of March right. You don't want to miss it. I'll be back. Welcome back to TSP with me, Gifty Auntie. And of course, this is our first edition for the month of March, and it's going to be really, really exciting. Before I introduce my guest, reintroduce my guest, let me say thank you to Kidsville, where all your children's dreams come true. They are on the Spintex Road. That's a Kidsville Mall on the Spintex Road, adjacent to Noble House. They are also at the Palace Mall. We are so grateful to them. Thank you to Vena Mineral Water. Has a balanced pH level and low in sodium, and of course has all the minerals that you need in water. And then they also believe in giving back to society. We are so grateful to all of them. Please come support us, come sponsor us, come advertise with us, so we keep staying on air. July this year will be 17 years and still going strong. Yes. So my guest today is Teresa Oparibia Ayoade, who is Chief Executive Officer, Charter House Production. Welcome to TSP.
Thank you.
With me. It's very exciting to have you and to start the the month of March with you, because March
you.
also means a lot to you.
Yes, it
You
does.
do for how many years? This will be
This is the seventh.
the seventh edition.
edition, yes.
And why do you choose the 7th of March instead of the 8th of March every year?
Because this year happens to be on a Saturday.
Ah, yeah.
And Saturday usually clashes with a lot of social events. Yes, people have the weddings, engagements, the funerals, a big thing.
Yeah.
And so many other activities.
Yeah.
So we thought that being a conference,
right,
we should try to do it on a Friday.
On a Friday, yes. Everybody does something on International Women's Day. Yes. But what is your focus? What does that mean to you?
Well, 7 years ago, we decided to establish the National Women's Summit.
Yes.
And Expo, because we felt that this was at the point when we're talking a lot about women's empowerment and the women's movement, and we all of a sudden saw a lot of females rising to the top of their careers, because they had all spent like about a minimum of 15 to 20 years, just putting in the hard work and climbing up the ladder. So all of a sudden, when you cast your eyes around, you just saw all these female CEOs at the top. So I was curious about this phenomenon. I was like, wow, I would like to get to know these people better and bring them to the public light, get the public to get to know them, know their story, and then use that opportunity to inspire and motivate the next generation of women, in their careers and in their professions and aspirations. So that was actually how it came about. The fact that we just realized that there were a lot of women CEOs leading organizations, and we wanted to just understand their journey.
It's become very big, more like a festival, Yes. Last year was really big and very packed. Yes. Lots of activities, vendors, and all that. Yes. I still have the dress I bought from one of the vendors.
Yeah, it's actually grown to be like a day for the women. It's like a women's day. Like how you have an hour day.
Yes.
So it's a day for us. It's a day where all around the world, women are gathering and having big conversations. Right. So I just wanted Ghana to be able to have a piece of that action on this day. It just so happens that this year we're doing it on the 7th instead of the 8th. But it's still good enough. And so, yes, we are on this 7th March at the Accra International Conference Center Grand Arena. And we'll be having the day will be full of plenary sessions, keynotes, speakers,
I know
and
Mrs.
address.
Yes.
And then we also have the youth. One thing we always do is, as we bring the top female executives together, we also bring the youth, because there are not so many opportunities for the youth to get up close and personal with these big women. So we thought that this is an integral part of what we do at the National Women's Summit. So we have, we always invite about 10 schools. So we have about 500 young ladies who are part of the summit and the conference. And for them, it's a very exciting time to come out and get to see role models and get to interact with them. And so we'll be doing this year speed mentoring. We're doing career guidance as well.
But Teresa, you personally, how much does women empowerment mean to you?
I feel very strongly about it. I'm very passionate about it, because I feel that women are the one half of the world. There's male and there's female. So we are one half of the world, and we have so much to offer. We just want to be given our space to be able to exhibit our fullest potential. So I feel that every opportunity that I can get to encourage women to just be the fullest, be the best they can be, to take their power and be the best they can be, gets me excited. So that's why I'm motivated always to do this, for women to just bring themselves 100% to the table. Nothing should stop us from bringing ourselves 100% to the table. So if there are systemic barriers around us that are preventing us, then we need to be intentional about breaking those barriers down, having those conversations, and really bringing all of us to the table.
I know you work with your husband, right? And he's very supportive. Everybody, talks about that. But somehow you have always been at the forefront of all the events.
Yes.
Talking about the Ghana Music Awards, the various conferences and events that you've had over. It's always been you being at the forefront.
Yes.
How has your journey been as a woman to find it? You're the first to start that, the Ghana Music Award, the awards for the music industry. There used to be some, but
so many,
but to create this national platform.
Well, I guess for everybody, it's about finding your passion and your talent, what you're good at, and then putting it to work. So I'm somebody I'm a creative. I like to create things. I call myself a dreamer. I like to dream.
Okay.
I'm always in my head dreaming and imagining things. And then when I dream and imagine them, I put them to action. So everything that we've done has been about dreaming up an idea and then putting in the work to make it happen. So that's how I've been able to come this far. It's just about sitting down and creating great ideas, great experiences, and putting them to pass. And even when a client comes to us in terms of, I want to do an event like this, it's our job again to take the brief, dream it through, think through it, design it, and then execute it. So I think I'm in my element in what I do, and I love it.
So is it intentional that your husband decided, I'm going to be intentional about putting my wife out there? She's going to be leading this.
Okay, I think that the roles have been shared amongst us. He is more of the technical person, so he does most of the creative direction and technical aspects of production, and I'm more like the marketing person who goes out there and represents the company and speaks for the company and puts the company out there, because I think it's more in my nature,
right?
Yeah, to do that. Again, it's part of the imagination, dreaming, talking, and more of that.
What's
than
your
the
professional
technical
background?
Professionally, I would say that well, my first degree was in psychology and linguistics.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember growing up, I wanted to be an economist, and I wanted to work with like the World Bank. I wanted to be a developmental economist, and so that was my path.
Okay.
But things didn't go as I wanted, so I had to make a detour along the line.
What happened?
What happened was my father got caught up in the revolution days.
Okay.
He lost his job, etc. So we were, at the time, we were abroad, attempting to pursue a university education. Right. I had started I started my university in University College of London, but then he got caught up in all these political shenanigans, and assets were frozen and all of those things. I remember those times. Yes. So my finances got cut off. Right. I was stranded in the UK. I couldn't continue my schooling, and after working in the system for a while, I decided to just come back home. It was very contrary to what was going on at that time. Because at that time, people were all leaving. Yeah. So why are you going back? And I was like, I came here to go to school. I didn't just come here to just work. So if it's not happening the way I wanted to, I think I want to go back and reorganize what I want to do. So
what did your parents say when you said you're coming
back?
When
I said I was coming back, they said, that it's a very loaded, so they can't tell you don't come, but then they're like, are you sure the right decision? But I had a lot of faith. I felt that Ghana is my country, and if I'm going to excel, God knows why He made me a Ghanaian. And even foreigners come to our country and excel, so why not me? That's really what I was thinking. So I said, no, I'm going back. And I didn't want to be illegal and do all the things that people were doing, just to stay. So I was like, no, I don't want that. There's a certain kind of quality of life I want to live. And if I'm not going to get it now, let me go back and start bottom up. So I just packed my bags and I left. All my siblings, everybody was in London. I just left and came back to Ghana. So I started from the bottom again. I went to work with a friend who had a shop in Accra, in Adabraka. So I was working in a store.
As what?
As a store girl.
As a store girl?
Yes.
Wow.
So I came
to store. Yes.
So when I came home, I didn't want to stay at home. I needed to be on the move. And I said, I need to meet people. I need to, So I always sit in the store. I worked in the store for about 6 months. And I was helping them to do their stock, organizing, It was a lighting fitting store. So helping them to get lighting contracts. So I was actually working. And then I heard Joy FM. Started. So I got interested and I listened and I said, I think I'd like to work here. So I looked for who to contact. Someone introduced me to Kwesichum, and then I went to meet him. I told him what I was doing. He saw my CV and thought, okay, I think we can give you, you can have a go. At that time I wanted to present. So But I don't want, at that time, they were just playing music.
Right.
DJ and just playing music. But I wanted to do what you're doing.
Right.
Interview people, talk to people, that's what I wanted to do. But radio hadn't gotten to that point, that stage yet. So it was all about kind of play music, read the news, do the announcements, and it wasn't working for me. So he said, okay, why don't you try sales? So what's that? He said, radio sales. So he gave me a whole pile of books to go and read. So I went home, read. Yes, I went to read. Yes, I went to read everything. I came out, okay, I think it sounds interesting. I'd like to do it. Yeah. And that's how I joined the sales team. So I was one of the first few ladies in radio sales when radio started. Yeah. So we used to hit the road.
When you used to be
yes, just down the road. We had the small tico.
Yes.
Tico, we're driving around town. We're very cool, So we're driving around.
From a store girl.
So I'm my own driving around, trying to, get people to advertise on radio. So that's how I got into the media.
Yeah. Yes.
And I enjoyed what I was doing. So I got promoted. For being diligent as I was, I got promoted from there to a senior sales executive. And then when the opportunity came to open up Love FM in Kumasi, I was the one they called. That's okay, it's an opportunity in Kumasi. So would want you to go. Out of about 8 sales executives, I was the only woman or the only girl. So I was given the opportunity to go to Kumasi. So I went with the team to Kumasi. We recruited the team and we set up the whole department, the whole radio station, Love FM. Right. And I led it as the sales and promotions manager in Kumasi. I was
At that time you were not married?
I wasn't married then.
Okay, yeah.
I had met my husband here. I left him in Accra and went to Kumasi. And he said to me, so long as you're in Kumasi, we'll remain boyfriend and girlfriend. And I was like, okay, let me start weighing it. Kumasi, I've done 1 year. What else is there to do? Kumasi, you've seen it and done it, Okay, I'm ready to come back. So I went to Tracy Chuma. I said, Tracy, I have to go back to Accra.
Did he know that love was pulling you to Accra? Did he know that was pulling you to Accra?
He was actually very, very considerate. Tracy is one of the best bosses you will ever get.
Right.
Really, really, very, very emotionally intelligent. I give that to him.
Right.
So he would always check on me. How is my relationship going? He was very concerned, So he was like, okay, no, you have to come back here. So I explained to him. Yeah. He said, okay, I think you have to go back. So I said, but when I go back to Accra, I want to do something different. He said, what do you want to do? So I explained to him I wanted to do special promotions, activations, etc. And that wasn't happening much then. Mm-hmm. So I came back to Accra with a new role, promotions manager. And that was the first promotions manager in Joy FM. So I came back.
Isn't that interesting? Somebody who didn't have a sales background.
Yes.
You got in there, led by being given a book to read. Yes. And then you got promoted. And
applying myself.
You got so much into it, you wanted to go into promotions.
Yes, But then the lesson in here, which I would like young people to pick, is that, just be diligent at what you do. Because it's only when you are diligent and you are delivering the results that your boss will even have this kind of conversation with you. Right. That's okay. So what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a lot for a boss to ask you, so what do you want to do? And for me to ask him to create a role that didn't even exist.
Right.
And knowing that I having that confidence in me to be able to go back and make something of that role.
Yeah.
And when I went back, I created a mini team.
And before then, another lesson I picked in then, I think young people must know, is that it doesn't matter how you start or where you start.
Oh, yes.
No matter where you've reached, when it becomes necessary, you can start from the bottom and work your way up.
You should never be afraid of starting again. Starting again. They say Colonel Sanders, the founder of Kentucky, KFC.
This is KFC, yes.
Started at 64 after so many rejections all throughout his life. So wherever you are in life now, it's never too late to just pick yourself up and start. Ground up. I had no problem at all. Just humbling myself and just going to the bottom and starting up again. And
I was in London, School of Economics. Something happened and I'm coming back home. I'm going to work in a store, and now I'm going to be a salesperson. But you took it up.
Yeah, because I needed to understand the system. I needed to understand the environment I was going to be in. Right. To build the networks and the connections and everything ground up. And I just threw myself in it. I just did the work. And I was the kind of person who I come to work and you won't get me in the gossip corner. You won't get me standing around not doing anything. Apparently they used to call me Yasantwa.
I was going to say that
when I was in
everybody
Kumasi.
thought
They used to call me.
Yeah, we are children.
Yeah.
I said, we move on.
Because I'm not going to stand around and just gossip.
Right.
In fact, whenever anything happened in the office, I'm the last person to know because I just come and do my work and I go. Right. So I was about just getting the work done. Because you've come to work to work. So get the work done. And I had a lot of clashes with the people trying to just get the work done. So I remember Chrissy used to call me a lot of times. She said, Teresa, I know you want to get the work done, but in Ghana is the people. You have to know how to deal with the people before the work. But he was teaching me emotional intelligence. Right. And I appreciate that. And as as a leader, I began to appreciate it even more. Right. The fact how to motivate people to get the work done and how to lead with influence. Yeah. So that's a good one I learned from him, And it was just interesting, how I just had to just go down to come to rise again. And at any point in time, I always try to understand the assignment. What am I here to do?
Understanding the assignment.
Understand the assignment. What am I here to do? Why am I part of these people here? What is my role? What am I doing here? Waking up every morning, coming to work. What value am I expected to bring to the table? So don't just add to the numbers. Your presence must be felt. Your value must be felt. At any point in time when there's a discussion, your name must come up because you must stand for something. And those were my guiding principles in life. I believe that whatever your hands find to do it with all your might. So that's always sounding in my head. That's my guiding principle.
Well, your parents very disciplined.
Very.
Disciplinarian. Were they disciplinarians?
Oh yes, we grew up in a very disciplined. My father was a crap parent. My mother was fancy.
Okay.
So we grew up in a very disciplined background. So I really appreciate the.
Was your dad Presbyterian? Or
no, we're Catholic. My mom was Anglican and we were Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we all used to go to Catholic church. So that's the discipline, the Catholic church. By 6 o'clock you are at mass. By 6 o'clock you're at mass. By 7 o'clock, by 8 o'clock you are done. On Sunday morning, it was like, every Sunday.
You have to go.
We have to go.
No excuse.
And we were living at Abelempe. Okay. And we used to travel all the way to Matters of Uganda, Mamprobi. So you can't imagine how early you have to wake up, pile into the car and drive all the way to Mamprobi just to be in time for 6 a.m. service. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, let me take a break. When I come back, I want to find out when you started working with your husband and how it has been.
Okay.
Because that has also been the breaking point for many marriages. Well, you are watching TSP with me, Gifty Auntie, and this is our first edition for the month of March, and I'm sure you are learning a lot, so am I. And let me say thank you to Amazing Grace Enterprise. They are to the opposite the fire service for this fabric, and then the outfit is by Zaki on clothes. Thank you so much. My hair by Esnash, beads, earring by Twinny Crafts, makeup by The Global, and of course makeup products by Sigma Health and Beauty. So grateful to all of them. We take a break. When we come back, we'll find out. Working with your husband. We'll be back. Welcome back to TSP with me, Gifty Auntie, and thank you to Bigo Drinks, Juice Time, from the farm to the factory to the bottle to the shelf. I love saying that because that's a beautiful chain, and you can trust that it is 100% fruit juices. Thank you so much to them, Auntie Vera and the team. Thank you. God bless you. I've told you when I get money, I'll buy you an aeroplane. Okay, trust me, the real one, not the toy one. And now we'll buy you the toy one. And then cleaning services make sure our environment is clean, our plants beautiful, real plants, which we've had since May last year by Zen Gardens. It's an amazing, beautiful place to be. Sometimes you go to the garden, you choose the plant yourself, and then they will just do it beautifully for you. Our Cuisine and then London Foods. Thank you for all our supporters, and we are grateful to you. At what point, when you came back, so you came back, although love brought you back to
Yes,
Accra.
love brought
When
me
you
back
came
to
back,
Accra.
how long did it take before you got married?
Oh, it was like right away.
Right away.
Yeah.
He is a man of his
His
words.
word, yeah.
Said, so long as we are there, we are remaining boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
when you
Because, no,
came
because he said, because I have come from Nigeria to Ghana, and you've left me alone
in
in Accra to
Accra,
Kumasi. Okay,
when
you
did you meet?
Kumasi. We met actually on the job.
Okay.
Yes, working at Joy FM.
Okay.
A colleague asked me to, he wanted to, there was these people who had come to town, these Nigerians who had come to town, who were organizing this event. So he wanted me to come with him to work on the project.
Right.
So I was very good at proposal writing and things like that. So he made me do the work. And I said, okay, this is the deal. When you get the deal, you have to give me commission.
Yes.
So I'm working with you. So that was the deal. So I did the work for him.
Yeah.
Followed him, went to do the presentation.
Yeah.
And he was the man we presented to.
And you got the commission too.
And we got the job.
And you got the job and the commission.
He never paid me the commission though. He never paid me the commission.
He never paid because you got a commission. You had a bigger commission.
Bigger commission. That's how we met.
Oh, that's interesting.
For the job, yeah.
Yeah, this is real. You never know where you meet in the love of your life.
Yes, it is. Because, and what helped was we were living in the same area, New Achimota.
Right.
So under the pretext of, let me drop you off at home.
Yeah.
You know, pick you up from work, and then drop you off on my way.
We are going
home,
the same way.
The same way. Then the conversation started. Oh, let's stop by, have a meal. You know, and then through that you just chat to know each other.
You know, I normally don't talk about marriage and on the show, but we are in an era or a season. Last week we did talk about, some of the mistakes that women make. I mean, Dr. Padiaite made a profound statement. You know, Dr. Padiaite, he said, most of the time women miss out on choosing the right guys to marry. Because we choose our career, put our careers and everything, ahead of, marriage. And by the time we are ready, especially he said the good girls, by the time they are ready to marry, the good guys have been taken by the bad girls. Because the bad girls know the game and know how to choose the good guy. How did you know he was the one?
I think I asked myself those questions especially when I was at the crossroads of my career or marriage. Right. Not so much of my career or marriage, but staying in Kumasi to pursue the career or coming back to Accra to get married and seeing how we could move forward. I asked myself some questions. What did I like about this guy? How did he make me feel? What was my sense about the future with him? And it came from his own self-perception, his own ambitions, and the kind of lifestyle he wanted to also live, the kind of family life he also wanted to have, and whether the values we shared, whether we shared similar values, and we could dream together and make something work. And he was also a very responsible person, very responsible, like to take charge and like to make things happen. Right. Yeah. So he was a go-getter. Right. So I looked at all those values. Right. And I felt that, so am I prepared to lose this but what was the opportunity cost? I lose this chasing what? Right. I've been here, I've done 1 year, 2 years. What else am I doing here? Yeah. So that somebody else cannot do. Yeah. So I said, no, I think I'd rather go back and settle this. So and then
so you took a calculated risk.
I took a calculated.
You didn't just jump into it.
Oh no.
You I really analyzed and
evaluated everything about it and said, is there anything about him? Okay, I weighed the positives and the negatives. And the positives far outweighed the negatives because there were some negatives. Who is perfect?
Nobody is.
Yes. I mean, it was very possessive, obviously. The fact that, why
who would it be? Have you seen you?
Yeah.
Even now? Have you seen you even now? After how many years of marriage? How many years?
25.
25 years. Yes. Have you seen you? Why wouldn't he be possessive?
So I was like, okay. And then all of that. But I looked at the negatives. But the positives far outweigh the negatives. So I was like, do I want to leave this and then go and meet somebody and start afresh again? Really, it wasn't worth it. So at that point, I just took that decision. I know, let me go back. So and that's something I also always advise young people as well. Oh, yes. I'm very happy that a few young people are advised at that point took the right decision. And are also happily married.
Right.
Because I was this young girl I was mentoring who was in a relationship with a guy, and the family was, a bit against it because he was a divorcee, but he was divorced, and they were dating. They were dating for a while. So why is it now a difficulty to move it forward because the parents are pushing against that? So I had a long chat with her and I said, how do you feel about this man? How do you feel about the relationship? She said, I think this is, I said, well, as long as you feel right about it, I think you just need to go and convince your parents that since you are the one going to be in it, and this is how you feel about it, that you'd want to go ahead. Because they have been dating for a long time. How are you not going to break that just because of,
No.
So they end up to now she thanks me because they have a beautiful married, 3 wonderful children. So there's that decision that you have to take at a certain time. And I feel that a lot of people who don't get married eventually or married much later, they missed that one opportunity in their life where they were probably with the right person, but they didn't take
them. Yeah, and that's exactly what Dr. Ayoade was talking. Yes. And these are candid conversations that we hardly, have, and we need to have it as women.
Yeah.
At a point we need to know that if you don't want to get married but you really need to know the pros and cons.
Yes.
About marrying late.
That, if you find yourself in that kind of relationship, in fact, you must be asking yourself questions as you're going along in the relationship. You don't even have to let it drag so long if you cannot take off certain boxes that you are looking out for. Then you're wasting your time in being in a relationship that doesn't tick the boxes.
That's right.
So you just need to be clear what you want at every point in time. Yeah. And I think men also are able to sense it, who is ready for marriage, who is marriage material, and who is not. So you have to be careful about the signals you're also giving out. If you really want to settle down, how are you behaving, even in the relationship? So all of those things.
I suspect you've become a marriage counselor. Sort of.
Maybe sort to my mentees, to your mentees, the young people. But I don't know whether I'm not trained.
Right.
With all the, the training and all of that.
Maybe but you should take it up because you make an excellent. You have a lived experience.
Yes.
Or a living experience because you're still living it.
I guess so.
How has it been working together with him?
Working together has been awesome. Awesome because for the kind of work we do, sometimes I wonder if we didn't work together, how would this have fared? How would I have fared with another husband who worked in a different industry?
Right.
Because our work is very challenging. It's very challenging, very tasking because it's about a creative process, which is very mentally consuming. You have to do a lot of brainstorming, a lot of brain work, cracking and figuring out. You do all that brainstorming, coming up with ideas. Yes, then you have to now put it to paper, do a budget, which is numbers, work on the numbers and all of that. Then, I think that's not all. You now have to go on field and execute, work up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's brain and brawn.
Right.
Yeah. So some work is brain. We see the officer do the brain work. Some work is brawn.
Right.
But this is what we do, event management, production, the creative industry, is brain and brawn. So you get really beaten by the end of a project.
Yeah. Because it's your idea, it's your dream. So how to implement it or let it manifest, you need
no
to
one
be
can see it as clearly as you can. So everything you have in your mind, you kind of work on autopilot because it's coming from your mind straight to your hands. And then you have to try and translate that vision to everybody else on the team. Right. It's a lot of talking, a lot of, so it takes a lot from you. And a brand is a promise. Once we have taken out an assignment, we have to deliver it to expectations. So that drives you always to make sure that, he's a perfectionist. Oh my God. He's a perfectionist. The excellence that you see in the things that we do, he's the driver of it. Like I said, I'm the dreamer and I move on. Right. But he's the one who's going to
put
Sometimes I look at it and say, where do you get this energy from? You can just go and go and go. So we are both, I'll say we are both workaholics.
Okay.
We are both workaholics. And I know how to let him lead.
Okay.
and he also knows how to let me
you
lead.
lead.
So that's how we've shared it. You handle
Knows your strength,
technical,
and then
and I do the human relations.
But I believe sometimes you clash.
Oh, of course, it's very natural. We clash because I'm the dreamer. He's the one with the details. So and I'm going off like, hey, come. We have to look at the budget. Can we afford this? And I'm like, oh, you two, you're always about the numbers. So, but there's the numbers that make things happen. Oh, but what about the nice ideas? And I'm always the one like this. He's always the one like, no. So there's always a clash. Right. Yeah, because I want to do all the big wild things, and he's like, okay, but we can't afford it. It can be very annoying.
Hopefully he didn't hear that, but I'm sure you say to him sometimes.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
So we are opposites. I always tell him. So when recently we were having the discussion, he was saying, I said, yes, we are opposites. That's why, and that's why we get along very well. And we are opposites. We can't be the same. Like this. We are opposites. We are different. Right. And that's what makes it work. So me, I've accepted it that we are different.
Right.
And somehow it works.
It works. Somehow it works. That's it. How many kids do you have?
I have two.
Two.
A boy and a girl.
Girl, they grown up now,
yes,
right? In their teenage.
They're all in university now.
The university, okay. Yeah. How would you say your journey has affected them? What has been the sacrifice that you have made?
I think
at the detriment.
I think that they've seen that we put in a lot of work. They've seen the work. They've really seen us putting in the work. Yeah, they've really seen us putting in the work. And even to the point that my son says that, I don't think I like to do this work you are doing. It looks too stressful.
I was going to ask you if any of them would take after you.
I said to them that, but every work is stressful. There's no work that you do anywhere that is easy. There's nothing like easy. There's no easy work. Every work, wherever you go, you have to put in the work, and it's stressful, So, so yeah.
What kind of mother would you say you are?
Oh, I'm a very easygoing person. I'm very approachable.
Not person, mother.
I'm a very easygoing mother. Very approachable. And the kind of mother that will talk things through with a child and reason things with a child, but will still put my foot down when I need something done, and when something needs to be done. Put my foot down. And then I also do rewards, and I withhold things and reward to modify behavior.
Is your mom alive? I guess if your mom is alive, right?
I had my family was a blended family.
Okay.
My father came to the marriage with 2 children.
Okay.
My mother came with 2 children, and they had 4 children. Okay. So I was one of the ones my father came to the marriage with.
Right.
I mean, I was very young, almost like a year old when he brought me into the marriage. So I was raised by my stepmother.
Okay.
Yes. So my biological mother is late.
Okay.
And my stepmother is alive.
Yeah. Okay. But
my father is also late.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I believe you have a good relationship with your stepmother.
Oh yes. She basically raised me.
Yeah. So now when she looks back, she looks at you now, how does she feel? What kind of conversations do you have with her?
I think she's very proud of me. I think she's very proud of me and of the person I've evolved to become. Right. Because when I was a teenager, I was very lazy. I was very, very lazy. I remember so much. I hear her talking in my ears, Kinti wuhu. Like I used to walk and just drag my feet and she just would go in Kinti. And when I look at my children, sometimes I'm like, Kinti wuhu. And I then remember my mom was like, oh gosh. But I think
I've been there before.
But I got to a period of self-awareness very early. That by the time I got to 19, and I tell people that by the time I got to 19, I said I've been independent since the age of 19. From the age of 19, when I left home and went to the UK under the pretense of going to school, and it didn't happen, I've been independent ever since. So what I'll wear, what I'll eat, whatever I needed in life, I had to provide it myself from the age of 19. So I had this self-awareness very early that whatever I want to become, it's up to me. I have to determine my life. I have to write everything. And I always tell people that you're not in control of the family in which you are born. Your siblings, your family, your environment, how you grew up. You're not in control of it pretty much as a child. But as for your future, You can't blame anybody. You are in control. You are in the driving seat. And I think I got to that self-awareness very early.
Right.
I was like, hey, if I don't take hold of my life, it will not go how I want it to be.
Right.
And then I began to now take those steps, making sure that I weighed the choices, the decisions I had to make. Should I stay in London or should I go back to Ghana? Should I start afresh? Should I leave Kumasi, come to Accra, get married? So those decisions that were taken at the key crossroads of my life, I think are what defined it.
One of the things I really admire about you is the fact that you're married. You work with your husband. You are one of the few that you hardly hear anything about you apart from the work. But you also have managed to keep your identity as Teresa, as the woman, who does. How do you do that? Because most people or some women marry and then they lose themselves.
Yes.
They lose their identity, especially if you were working with your husband. They get lost in there. How do you keep it and be wise about it?
It's we all need help in this journey. I remember there was a time my best friend Angela, she was in the UK then. She came to Ghana. She used to come to Ghana often. And one time she came to me and said, Teresa, what's going on? I don't like what you're wearing. I don't like how you are doing yourself. What's going on? No. Then she would shop. When it's sale in London, she will shop and bring it to me. Then she'll send me the bill. I bought these things for you. This is the bill. Refund me. Because I want you to look better than you have. So I didn't realize that I was losing myself with everything going on together, I didn't realize I was losing myself. But it took friends to tell me that, hey, what's going on, and then for me to realize that, hey, I'm slipping down, so I need to get back. So they all kind of help to show me back. So you need that support system. You really need that tribe around you that supports you, that can be frank with you and tell you when you are losing it, and gets you back. So I'm not a superwoman at all. I had to have support along the line, even in raising the children, nannies, house helps. I've gone through the whole gamut.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
All of that. But the thing I did was I tried to make sure that I built that safety net. So I even have house helps who have been with me for 12 years, drivers for 8 years, 10 years. And they go and they come, and they're part of the family. Because you need to build it.
Right.
So you can't fight everybody around you. You can't be horrible, and you have to be nice. You have to sow seeds of love around you so that you can have this support system. It's very important. And then I also decided to create my own joy. Right. And I've asked myself, what are the things I like to do? Me, I'm very adventurous. My husband is not. So we part ways. So I will be trying new things. Even just recently was like, so what is all this golf craze now? And since that's not enough, I've gone to join Rotary. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I just try to find things to do. I like new experiences. I get bored easily.
Right.
So when I'm there not doing much, I feel I want to try new things all the time. So I am in touch with who I am.
Right.
And what I like.
Right.
And I pursue them. Yeah.
This is beautiful. Awesome. Keep being you. So the program is on the 7th of March. It's open to all. Is it free?
Admission is free. I think there's just a registration code available on social media at the National Women's Summit Ghana.
National Women's Summit Ghana
on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay.
So
not on Facebook, just Instagram.
On Facebook and Instagram. So once you go there, you will find the QR code. You scan to register. It's free attendance. Okay. It's open to all women, professional women, young women who want to learn from the women who will be on the panels discussing. We'll be talking about the barriers that women face to progress, especially now with the passage of the Affirmative Action Law. Last year we were very instrumental in advocating for this because we even had some students come and do a petition, hand it over to the
to
Women's
the MP. I
Caucus
was
in
there at the
Parliament.
moment, yes, led
and
by
everything.
Tina.
And it was amazing that by July the law had been passed. So
yeah.
we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
So now that it's been passed, what's happening?
Right.
How is it being implemented? So we want to work with we continue to work with the Affirmative Action Law Coalition to help to track it across various sectors of the economy. We'll also have female women business leaders coming to talk about their life journey, and also giving some guide and tips on how to break certain barriers in corporate world, in the world of business, etc. So it's just going to be an interesting day of sharing. Right. You were there last year. You saw it was very insightful. Beautiful. You know, you always learn something new, even from somebody's story. No matter how accomplished you are, even you will always pick some nuggets. And I think it just kind of emphasizes the resilience of women, the things women have had to go through to endure to achieve what they are enjoying right now. You know, so it's always a learning curve for even me.
And we feel privileged to have you share your story with us, even before the summit. You know,
Thank you.
Gabs, your journey, where you have come from and where you are going.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best, and thank you so much. From London, folks, we have this package for you. I want to show you so your kids will see it. Okay. So you don't finish eating. This is a lightly salted plantain chips. Okay. This is spicy coated nuts. Okay. And then we also have the sweet plantain chips for you to say that.
Thank you.
Enjoy the moment.
Thank you so much.
You started our
snacking.
We started our Women's Month on the show TSP with Gifty and with us, and we are grateful. Wish you all the best.
And we look forward to seeing you again at this year's event.
I will show up.
Don't forget to come with your shopping bag and with your wallet. Because there's a whole lot of shopping going on in the lobby. You know, when women gather, there has to be shopping.
There has to be shopping, you know. And the things with just choking your eyes like that.
You know, that's a nice atmosphere.
Good to have you, and I hope to see you there. Thank you. There. Go on National Women's Summit. On Facebook, on Instagram, register and let's meet there to learn a lot. 2025, we of the TSP with Gifty Auntie, our theme is the woman with a voice. Go there, find your voice. Voice is not just about speaking, but actions, directions, learning a helping hand, finding your dream and everything. And that will be the place that you may find the one thing that you're looking for. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with a bit of me. Papa, what makes you angry? Are you an angry person?
No, I am not. I'm not at all. I mean, emotions are not attached to what you write sometimes. Because even though people read it and they feel it, but you don't see the emotions of the writer sometimes. So when you put something out, people may think that you are writing this out of a place of pain, but might not be. Also because when you do this job for a very long time, you become accustomed to certain things. So you don't care what people think about how you feel, especially when it's about righting certain wrongs in society.
You are the gender focal person. How is it like going on the field to interact with the women, farmers?
It's tough, because you get to experience life in the lenses of others. You get to experience the stories that you hear and read and see on TV. You get to appreciate who you are as a person, and you get to wake up in the morning, being on the field, saying Alhamdulillah. Because you see how some people are living, and then you can only but say Alhamdulillah for life.
What gives you the satisfaction to keep doing this?
Because you see changes. You go and then you hear stories about how what you came to do the other time has changed somebody's life all of a sudden. Then you are motivated to do more. And there are different categories of people. So as part of being an adult educator too, you have to find very creative means to sustain people's interests.
Have you read my book, The Black Shallotte? Have you read it? The story of the late bloomer and her daughter. See, there are things that sometimes we make it seem easy, but it's not as easy as it seems. We have come to a place where this is what it is. So we make it work. And we enjoy it or bring some excitement into our lives while we walk that journey. Being a late bloomer is not easy. Marrying late is not easy. Marrying late doesn't mean that you get everything. No. Marriage is a journey, and no matter how late or early you marry, you will travel the course or you travel the journey. You go through the process. Giving birth late or having a child later on in your life has its pros and cons. It is a miracle. I mean, I just thank God. I'm grateful to God, but it's not easy. There are sometimes I wish I'd given birth much earlier. There are sometimes I wish I had an older child who would be taking care of her whilst I go about my work. When my friends are going out because their children are older, I have to sacrifice because my child is very little. Opportunity cost. What is it going to be? I pray that you don't miss the times and seasons. Our times and seasons are different. The fact that this is my story and I seem to be working with it doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean it has to be your story or your journey. Find your purpose. Find your vision. Understand and identify where you are going. Make the right choices at the right time. It's easier said than done, right? But may God help us. The gift of this generation is that wisdom, knowledge, information, examples abound. Read, inquire, speak to people, and make your own decision. Find out which one works for you, what will work for you, and take that calculated risk. In every choice that you make, job decision, where to live, I mean, in everything that you do, remember, it is a risk. It is a sacrifice. And make it based on you taking your time to analyze, to evaluate, understanding what you're doing. I'm only but a woman with super crazy faith in God. In fact, I have a resilient, stubborn, crazy faith in God. But I also know that God has given us wisdom, and experience has taught me so much. So I speak, not because I have it all or I got it all right, but because I walked the journey, and by the grace of God, I have the experience. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.